Welcome, children of God, loved and saved by Jesus. This is Pastor Paul Steinberg, and you found the Christ for Disciplers podcast, where Monday through Friday, every weekday, for 10 minutes, just about 10 minutes, we take time to disciple ourselves so we can better disciple our children. This week, we're looking at Peter denying Jesus from Mark chapter 14, really focusing on verses 26 to 31 and verses 66 to 72, breaking it into 5 little parts as we take a look at it. Let me ask you, how often do you sing? I mean, maybe you're somebody who sings. You go to karaoke and you sing somewhere. Maybe you're in your car and when it's playing music, you like to sing along. Maybe you just sing a lot. You're just a music person. Or maybe you don't really sing much at all, not even at church. You know, when you're at church, there's music going on, and maybe you're taking it in, but you just don't sing. You just don't sing. You just don't sing. It's just not what you do. And the people you sit around don't sing, but you take it in. Maybe you clap, maybe you get it, but you don't sing. Do you sing with your kids? Do you sing with other people? More people sing, in the shower and by themselves than with other people. Adults, for some reason, we get really self-conscious. And we expect ourselves to be in the top 1% to sing. But singing is a beautiful thing, even if you're not good at it. I'm blessed this last week. We had a nice, awesome, amazing St. Marcus Gospel Choir come to our church, and I look at all the people. I know a bunch of them, and not all of them are really great singers. Some of them are amazing singers, and some of them are amazing musicians who know all the notes and music, and some just sing because they want to sing for Jesus, and it sounds beautiful together, and it looks beautiful together when you know it's a bunch of different people singing. And singing is just a really important tool that God invented and gave for us to get His Word and get His gospel into us, especially for some of us. If you're a music person, music just affects people differently. And some people it's a big deal, and some people it's not as much. But when it comes to kids, all kids sing when they're little. All kids do. All kids do. And then later on they learn that maybe they shouldn't sing, or someone teaches them that, or they don't want to do it. But little kids go to K4, they all sing. In the beginning of the account of Peter denying Jesus, Jesus is going to be giving his disciples the tools and the spirit and the power they need to withstand what's going to be coming when he's going to be arrested. He gives them all that, and yet they're going to fall short. Peter's going to fall short. But part of what he gives them is a hymn. We don't know what it is, but that's what we're going to focus on today. So I'm going to read from Mark chapter 14, beginning at verse 26. When they had sung a hymn, they went out to the Mount of Olives. You will all fall away, Jesus told them, for it is written, I will strike the shepherd, and the sheep will be scattered. But after I have risen, I will go ahead of you into Galilee. For Jesus and the disciples, they were getting ready. And what did Jesus do? He sang. He sang with them. I mean, note that he didn't sing to them. They didn't just have a soloist sing, but they all sang. And again, I think song, or people were just used to sing, has been something that we've lost in our culture and technology. We have access to all these great singers and musicians, so we hear them sing, and their voices are even like propped up and made to sound better. They're in the best possible recording. And so we think, well, I probably shouldn't sing because I don't quite sound like them. I don't sound like a rock star, if I don't sound like a opera singer, if I don't have that good pitch, maybe I shouldn't sing because it sounds really bad. But Jesus and his disciples sang. Something I appreciate when I go to often different cultures. When we adopted our kids from Haiti, those kids sang. When we just hopped in the car, they were singing. Why? Because they had nothing else to do. And so they didn't have something plugged into their ears. They sang. When we go to Zambia, people sing. They just sing and sing and sing. And we visited a church, and they had one choir practicing and inside the church, like 5 others outside. Why? Because they like to sing. And I think as Americans, we've lost some of that. We've given up the participation. A way I can tell is when I go to the Milwaukee Bucks game. My wife and I'm not a good singer. I'm not a good singer. My wife and I are just about the only people who are trying to sing the Star Spangled Banner. And what's you can notice is that hardly anybody's singing, and the musicians don't usually perform in a way that encourages people to sing along with them. They sing in a key that's too high, or they do all this improvisation that I can't follow along. I just want to sing the song because I want to honor my country, and I want to not throw off the people in front of me, and then they switch key, and it's tough. That's our culture. We've gotten rid of people and participation in singing, and that's true in churches. It's more and more having experts and people up front sing, and it's hard for us to sing along. I mean, my favorite church musicians, and there's nothing wrong with having someone deliver something awesome and you take it in, but my favorite musicians have a way of bringing stuff in, music that you can sing along with and participate with. Now, Jesus sang a hymn here, and the word hymn, I don't know exactly what it was in Jesus' day. It's not a psalm. It's not saying you read a psalm, and it's, is it a Jewish hymn that somebody wrote that was singable? And what did it say? We don't know. I'm glad he doesn't tell us. There isn't one right way to do a song. Usually now when I use the term hymn, it usually means there's multiple verses, same melody, but you change the words every single verse, and it's usually pretty thick in its words. I'm used to Lutheran hymnody, where hymns really were designed for teaching, great to memorize. But man, even the best of us that memorize those hymns as a kid don't know the third verse, word for word. But we memorize them. Really a teaching hymn, great tool, but it's not an easy invitation hymn for people to sing along with. It's just a lot of words moving a lot. And even if the melody is pretty easy, it's just too much a repetition of words that it doesn't stick with you maybe past the first couple lines of the first hymn if you haven't memorized it. At least that's my experience. Where you have some other songs, maybe they're called gospel songs. They have fewer words. They might be just as biblical, but they repeat a lot more and have refrains. I think that's where 2024 is, where Christian music that's good is kind of aimed at people that don't know the songs, and it's easier for it to stick in their head and their heart afterwards. It's all good as long as it points to Jesus. That's the key, and I'm sure that Jesus, the song they sang, was a fantastic one. So for us, with our kids, we need to make sure to sing with them while we can, to get hymns and songs, all sorts of things in their brain so they can function and have songs that stick. Have them memorize hymns, have them learn other songs, have them learn different things. We have such potential to bring in Christian music from all sorts of cultures with our speakers and technology and Amazon Echo and all the different things that we have. You can do it and let our kids soak it all in, because they need those words stuck in their hearts for what's going to happen next in their life. It's going to be tough. Jesus sang a hymn heading towards when he was going to be arrested. He knew they'd need it. You need a hymn to stick into your heart. It kind of sticks in your soul. And again, some people, that's where it sticks more. I'm not a music person. It's tough for me to sing hymns and remember the words. I love music. I play drums. I love the songs. But as far as things sticking in my head, a sermon is going to do it more for me. My wife is the other way around. And we want to make sure to serve all of our kids and all the people. We need that good mix of music and the message for the gospel to stick for when people needed it. Jesus, he loved his disciples enough to make sure they had every tool as he taught them and as he sang with them. But ultimately, they would disappear as he was willing and showed his ultimate love by dying on the cross for them and saving them. And that truly is something worth singing about, that our Savior was willing to suffer and die on the cross. We need to write new songs and sing them all. Grace and peace to you.